The reason it's here is because I felt the need to put a sway bar kit on it. Morning everyone, Tony from Hearns here with another little tutorial, this time on the Yokomo RS 2.0. Now, Brett and I have both assembled one of these on camera before, so you know how the car goes together. This is in fact my converted front wheel drive one. You can see that it's still very much in prototype form. The wiring's all just basically tied together to keep it out of the way because we're still not 100% sure on the final fit of things, whether I'm going to leave the speed controller here up on top of the servo or move it back there. So everything's just in a temporary position. It's fresh from the last time we used it, which is the only time we've ever used it, at the Geelong Club about a month ago. So I just put it in its box and I just brought it out today. Now, the reason it's here is because I felt the need to put a sway bar kit on it. The car worked very, very well, all things considered. However, certainly the sudden changes of direction and that, leaving it floundering a little bit, wasn't sitting as flat as what I'd like. And basically it's a pretty easy option to put a sway bar kit on it. I would have done it quicker, except we didn't have any in the shop. We had to wait and wait and wait for Yokomo to supply them. Finally, we've got them, and I thought I'd do a tutorial on it because this is the instructions you get in the kit. It's just a QR code, and when you scan that QR code, you get 2 pages of instructions and no real direction. It's just a couple of photos and nothing else. And it's not necessarily easy to follow. I've had a couple of people say to me, oh, I couldn't work it out. I was lucky when I did the sway bars on my own RS 1.0 because it's the same set of sway bars for the 1 and the 2. I had another car to copy off, so it was relatively easy. But I thought other people aren't going to have that advantage. So I'm going to show you here on my front wheel drive one how they go together. It's actually quite easy, but without a ready reference you may not necessarily be able to handle it and you'll make a few mistakes. Now, I've taken the liberty of pre-assembling some parts just to speed things up because you don't want me to see me doing all of it. So we'll start now. Here's the first thing you have to do. I'll move this over here so you can see it. You can see here, I've cut this side and I need to cut this side. This provides clearance for the sway bar on the front. So I'm just going to do this one now. It doesn't have to be precise. You can just wing it. Goodbye. That's gone over there somewhere. That's an important thing to do. So you can see that now. We've got those there. Sway bars themselves. These are the front, these are the rear. Actually, I'll bring them here. So you can see they are different shapes. Each of them have a series of markings on them. You can see that one's got 3. That is the middle hardness. This one's got 4. I'm going to start off with the lightest of sway bars. Don't necessarily need a hard one, but the fact that you've got 3 different sway bar weights makes it easy to change things. If you think, oh, I need a bit more on the rear, you can do that. We'll start off with the light ones. Now, there are supports that go up from here and here, here and here. These are those supports. I've already made 3 of them, and so we don't have to muck around. What I'm going to do is assemble the last one now, show you how it goes together. First thing we do is prep the very top. The very top link, which is this one here. And that just needs a 1.5mm set screw put in a little way. There's a tiny little spacer here that comes on the plastic parts tree. That goes onto the ball end. We screw this in a little way. Get this, and now a 2mm. Screw that in all the way. Don't need to be too tight, just enough you feel it start to bottom, that's it. That's that done. And now this needs to go on here with the set screw uppermost so that you can access it. This is a little bit fiddly to do this. I do it this way. I definitely advise you to do this before you put it on the car. Trying to do this when it's on the car is an absolute nightmare. So we've now got 4 of those. So I'll move that back a little bit. Move these out the way. We're going to do the front one first. Now, you can just see under here, there's a little ball end in there. One there, one there. That's where you want to put this onto. So we'll go in here. It's a little bit fiddly because it wants to spin around. Probably help if I had better pliers. One done. Now the next one. Now you've got to remember this needs to point forward. Oh, that's a front bumper weight falling out. If you've got a normal four-wheel drive one, that won't happen. Got that in there. Okay, that's 2 done. And I'll leave that bumper weight out for the moment. Now you don't have the built-in ball on the rear here. So Yokomo give you a ball end to screw in. It's a bit fiddly to get in because it's actually right in line with the chassis. I've got to start there. What I might do, just to make it a little bit easier, is I'll undo the shock and pull the shock off on the top mount, and that will let the rear arm droop down a little bit further. He says hopefully. I can't remember how this worked on my when I did my RS1. Ah, that's not undoing. Because, oh dear. That's better. Fortunately, the screw at the front was turning around at the same time. All right. There we go. Now that's let it drop down a little bit more, not a whole lot, but enough that I can get this in. Move that. Okay, that's just about there. Of course, because that's gone in at an angle, it's really difficult to get it out. Come on! Made a satisfying noise. Okay. Let's put the shock back on. If I don't do it now, I'll forget. Okay, and get it started. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So on the other side, shock off. Okay, that's done. Now we'll put the ball end in. I'll twist that up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. That's where it's going in. Sorry, I can't leave it like that. It's a little bit difficult for me to screw it in. If you're really keen, you want to make sure this is absolutely perfect, you can easily just drop the wishbone off completely and get it done, but I think this will do the job nicely. Now, once again, trying to get the bugger out. Come on! I know what's going to happen here. It's going to let go in a hurry. Oh no, we're okay. Okay, that's in there. That should be the last of the disassembling I have to do. So we've now got the lower mounts for the sway bar supports ready. We'll put this one on. Snapped on. Now the last one. Sorry if this is not 100% visible, but there's not a lot I can do. Let's snap that one. Okay. So we've got the supports on now. What I can do is put this. Actually, no, I'm not going to put this back on because I'll use that. Alright, now this little collar slides over the sway bar and you position it in the middle. So I've got that there right now, pointing upwards so that I can access that screw. Now, we can work this through here. And drop it 50 times probably, because it's a little bit fiddly, and slide it into the upper link. Alright, so I've got it in that side, so I'll just screw down on that. That's held there now, so it won't fall out again. can now do the same on this side. Just move this around a little bit, make sure it goes right in. At the moment it's not, now it is. Again, nip this up to stop it moving around. Okay, we've now got that in position. This is the support that holds it. It goes this way so that that little collar fits in there. And there's two slots cut in here, which is what holds the sway bar. Now, we just lift this up. We've got little socket head cap screws. Which actually go in underneath. It's probably, like I said, I did my own 1.0 quite some time ago, so I've forgotten how I did it. Let's pull all this off to get a bit better access. Slide it over, put this back in position, and put one in and put the other in. I'll tip this up when I'm done so that you can get a better look at how it fits. Okay, there we go. Now you can see the collar sits in there. These screws hold it on, and you have the option of putting in these little suckers here to these are little short ones. You put them in there just to locate the sway bar to stop it moving around too much. These are so small, I really wish I'd got my glasses on today. That's, I can't even get the end in. Come on. Oh. There we go. All right. There we go. So that's the front one on. That's all good. Which means I can now reassemble the front end. I'll put this bumper brace back on. Now remember, we cut that earlier to make sure it's got clearance. Oh. And you can see why we needed to do that. We needed that bit of extra space. So let's put this all back together. Okay, that's the front done. Let's go around to the rear, a bit easier, we won't have to pull any of the other stuff off. Let's just fit it in like that. I'm just going to hold that temporarily while I screw in that one done, and move across to the other one. I'd actually screwed that one up in a little tight, so I need to move it around a bit. There we go. Alright, that's the, yeah, well, didn't do a good job of that one, did I? That's better. So we've got that right. Now we just need, it's the same as the front. I might put one of the screws in to start with. We lift it up, locate it, and one screw in, the other screw in, these, don't do these up incredibly tight because it's very, very weak plastic in the bulkhead here, and the thread will strip. So that's done there, so you can see there the same arrangement as the front, and I'm just going to put these little screws in here just to keep it all together. Make sure it buttons up nicely. Oh. This is what it likes when you get old, people. You can't see and you can't hold things. Stop laughing at me, alright? I'm doing the best I can. Right, so that goes in there, and that is done. So we've got the sway bar set, there's the rear, there's, I'll turn it around here, there's the front set. And that's just going to do a nice little thing for our RS 2.0 front wheel drive. Just going to keep the thing a little bit flatter. It's going to be run following weekend at the Victorian titles. I'm not sure whether you'll see this video before or after, but hopefully it will acquit itself well. Our little budget bomber, the RS 2.0 front wheel drive. That's it from me. That's how you put sway bars on an RS 2.0 Yokomo. I'm Tony from Hearns. We'll see you at the track.